Hey everybody, this is Beth McCullough. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Iowa in the US, and I do live videos every Tuesday night with my sweet husband Steve.
Hi, everybody.
It's nice that he's always here with me, and we're glad to have you with us. Bev is on and Pat is on. It's good to see you guys. Say hi when you get on and let me know where you're watching from and what you've been up to this week. What have we been up to this week, Steve?
Well, we
went to My Fair Lady.
We went to My Fair Lady the musical, and that was
went out
wonderful.
To dinner, and it hasn't rained in Iowa for 2 months, and we didn't even check the weather because it doesn't rain in Iowa anymore. And we parked 2 blocks away because we thought I could walk that far. And how far did we get? A half a block?
Yeah, and it started sprinkling.
And we're like, oh, walk faster. It was sheets of torrential rain. And we kept thinking, well, we need it because we're having a drought. But we were so wet. We stayed wet for 3 hours, didn't we, Steve?
Yeah, it's one of those predicaments where we didn't have the umbrella, and, we were under an awning for a while.
We had an umbrella in the car.
Yeah.
We just had no inkling it was going to rain 3 minutes later.
And so all we could do was get soaked, and then we're walking into the theater with everybody dressed up to go to the theater, and we're like drowned rats.
Yeah, and probably some of the people got there. We actually got there early, like half an hour early, which is early for us.
Yeah, we never do that.
So about a quarter of the people were soaked, and luckily the lady next to me was soaked too, so she felt like I did.
We could commiserate.
But then during the intermission, Steve bought me a hot chocolate. And he started drinking it. I went, no, I want to hold it in my hands because I
didn't understand that it was to warm the hands.
Yes,
I assumed that it was warm the tummy, and I was wrong.
Yeah, he thought he was buying a drink. He was buying a hand warmer. So let's see. Tony's been stamping a lot. That is awesome. Awesome. Elizabeth's on, and Holly and Bridget. Oh, Tony's doing a game night. You're multi-talented that you can do 2 things at once. Well, I have a very fun card for you. Many of you know my Joy team. The demonstrator signed up with me. We do a fun fold card every single Tuesday night since the pandemic. Well, we missed a couple for Christmas and things, but probably every Tuesday night, but 4 since the pandemic started. We do a fun fold, and a different person teaches it. And last week, Linda Mandernack showed us this card. Do you like it? It's a little card with a little box attached. And guess what? It fits all kinds of candy. It's actually very large. It's 3/4 of an inch tall, and it's 5 inches long, and it's 1.25 inches wide. And you could put a Snickers in here. And I really like Snickers. So this is a Milky Way. Can you feel this, hun? It is rock hard.
Yes, I'm glad that I didn't try to eat it.
This is a Milky Way vintage 1990. No, I don't know what it is. 2003 when I started stamping. And I can't keep Snickers.
So this is why she keeps this candy for so long. So I'm sure she's got fresh candy somewhere that she would actually send.
I hide the fresh candy from you.
But then the rock hard candy she leaves out. So the one time I try and go sneak candy, I bite into it and it's like rock hard.
Negative reinforcement.
And I never try to do it again. And meanwhile, she has the fresh candy all hidden away where it's supposed to be.
Except I believe you've been hiding candy in your office. Okay, we didn't talk about that. We were going to talk about this. We might need some marriage counseling.
She asked me to hide the dark chocolate covered almonds in my office so she wouldn't be tempted. So that's what I did.
But then I look for them. Okay, so Mary says Snickers and peanut butter cups. Okay, Mary, do you know how many different kinds of Reese's eggs and trees and peanut butter cup things I make? Peanut butter cups and Snickers are my favorite too. So, okay. On your phone, you're Bridget, and on YouTube, you're Bridget. How sweet is that of you? We need 4,000 hours for YouTube, and we're about 2,000 hours a month. So when Bridget watches it on both, she likes to comment better on Facebook, but It helps us more on YouTube. So that's very, very sweet of you, Bridget.
It's
so
double nice.
Thank you. It is. So last week I should have had a template made for you. So I actually made it tonight because I am pro template. I want to tell you a couple things first. You have the SAB banner. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was called a banner. So they added 10 things to Celebration, and I want to show you 2 of my favorites. With a $100 order, you can get the dots and spots dies. And here is, I made a ton of cards in the beginning with the dots and spots. I really, really like it. That is free with a $100 order. And the other one that I really like is the dies that go with Perched in a Tree. This is pretty amazing. There's a branch, there's these trees. Here's what these trees look like. I haven't made a card yet, but I'm going to because I really, really like them. Those dies are called Aspen Tree dies, and they are also free with a $100 order. So I would encourage both of those if you have more Celebration items that you want to get before the end of August or before they run out.
And this is Celebration.
Celebration.
And it runs from the 1st of July through the 31st of August.
Right. And can you also bring up the Boughs of Holly?
Okay, but here's the thing. When I do the overlay, they can't see what you're displaying under the camera. So tell me what to do first.
Let me show you this. The Boughs of Holly suite. I do a stamp camp every quarter. Super fun. It's free. You buy the suite from me. You get the card kits, the videos, the stamp camp. Can you show the overlay for that? But this box that I made uses a lot of the products from this too. And that is the end of October. But you can buy it now before the end of Celebration. Actually, it's out of stock. Never mind. You can buy something of similar price from me and make sure you buy it, the suite, by the end of October and get that stamp camp for free. Let me know if you have questions about that. Okay, so what we use besides the products in that suite, this is the DSP from the suite, and the Joy is the stamp set, and the Christmas Wishes is all out of Boughs of Holly. The only other things I use is this Wintry 3D embossing folder. There's 2 of them. I use this one right here on the box. Can you see? I put an embossed layer on there. This little Joy is cut out with the smallest stylish shapes. And then, of course, I use the stamp set.
Well, I complimented the embossing on that
Did you?
Green box. I told you how much I liked it.
I am glad you like it, honey.
It's very fitting for the color.
Oh, one other thing. I almost forgot. I talked about this last week, but here it is again. The voting card went on my blog at 5 o'clock on Monday. Please vote for me on Kylie's contest. I have a hippo with a cute little flower. This is the Amazing Thanks dies. And then the upside. I don't know if this is enough of an upside, honey, but we went to Mall of America. You know, I went in a wheelchair when I had surgery, and they had Bermuda Bay M&Ms, and I was so excited about that. So Steve bought me the tiniest little bag of Bermuda Bay M&Ms that they would sell. And I put a polished pink ribbon on here, and this is a bendy card. Do you guys know how to make the bendy cards? In order to put the M&Ms, I actually had to tape the bendy card shut so that the bendy pieces didn't fall out. But I would love it if you would go in and vote for that. Oh, Bridget voted. Becky's on. Yes, we are doing Prize Patrol tonight, so please put hashtag Prize Patrol in. Another thing I wanted to tell you about this card is you can make it vertical like this. Or I made another one. I didn't shut the box or put the bow on because I thought I could mail this. You can also do it horizontal. So you can make this box in either direction, which I thought was fun. And here is the tutorial or the template.
I have to lift that up so they can see it. Huh?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go over everything that's on here. But we have a 6.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. If you want to make a template with me, or if you want to, you know, just make the box. And then you're going to cut away this section and this section, and then these two little sections right here. You're going to put the tear-in tape. I did it in red. We used to use red tape so you could see it. The red tape is just on the opposite side of this little 1/4 inch. And when we go to put the box together, there's 1, 2, 3 folds. You're going to take the second fold like this and then fold it over the 4th fold. And that's how the box is going to get placed exactly where it goes. I also put, you could put DSP. I did an embossing folder for that. And then the front of the card layers and inside. So this is what I typically do for every fun fold. And then I will get this out in 6 months or next year. Sometimes I make it every month, depending on what it is. And I can pick this up and make the card again with new product. So I highly recommend doing templates. And I'm going to use this tonight to make sure I cut it right as I'm showing it to you. Okay, so I'm going to get out my trimmer. And the first thing you need is cardstock, 6.5 by 11. And our cardstock is 11. So I am just going to cut the 8.5 side down to 6.5.
So can I tell them a hawk story while you're cutting?
Do you want to go get your feather?
So
it's over there.
Basically,
wait, but before you do it, can I sure. Tell them this? Actually, you have things to put up too.
I'm putting things up.
Did you put the 6.5 by 11?
Okay. I'm on top of it.
Now do the scoring.
Okay.
If he'll keep putting short side at the top, 3/4 down each side, then I'm going to turn the long side to the top and he'll turn it to the next measurements. So go ahead, Steve. Tell your story.
So we have 3 broad-winged hawks that have taken up residence in our backyard since like a week ago. And they are the coolest birds. They've got huge talons and very sharp eyesight, and their beautiful coloration, kind of a speckled brown chest, and their tail has got horizontal alternating stripes, white and black, or dark brown, and just amazing animals. And so one of them in particular is coming down and sitting on our back fence and landing in our backyard. And it's just amazing to watch. And
now I'm going to the long side, yep. Like he has up.
I have the long side up. So I'm even bragging about it and showing it to the neighbors and showing it to her mom and dad. And look, we've got a hawk in our backyard, and it's got 2 of its siblings up in the other tree, and that's all great until yesterday.
I was busy stamping, and there was this loud bang.
And the hawk flew at full speed into our family room window and broke its neck and died.
Isn't that sad?
And I was really distraught. I'm still emotional about it, and I'm not exactly sure why. I understand nature and things die and everything else, but I had been so impressed by this bird. And so anyway, I had to dispose of it, and a couple of its feathers had come loose, so I grabbed those feathers to remember it by. We had just seen the movie Where the Crawdads Sing, which is a great movie, by the way. I highly recommend it.
Wait. I had to force him to go to the movie, kicking and screaming.
It's like a lot of things in life that I end up really liking. I did it over my objection.
Say how good it is again.
It was really good. It was really, really well done. And that's what I liked about it. The story was well done. The acting was amazing. And but anyway, the lead character is a naturalist, and she talks about the circle of life and all the animals and documents them. So that was a good movie for me to have seen before this all started. And so it kind of put it all in perspective. But today I went out in the backyard, and there's another hawk, one of the hawk's siblings, with a mouse clutched in its talon. And I think that they're actually nesting in the neighbor's yard. And I think it was feeding its babies. So I hope we have hawks for a long time.
Although I did talk about this on Joy Team, and Brooke was saying that they had hawks and they were killing their songbirds. So that would be a bummer. I mean, they are predators.
I have not heard any decrease in songbirds, especially our cardinals. We have lots of cardinals. and they are beautiful singers, but they're very noisy too. So, and they haven't quieted down at all. All right, so where are we, Beth? I have long side at the top, score, the different score lines.
Right, and then go to the next one.
I'm keeping the long side at top, score 3/4
Right,
line to
and
the
let me
edge.
show you that. This is the 6 1/4, and I actually cut down it. I scored it so I would know where it is, and then there isn't a thing for this, but the thing you do after this is you cut out the sections that I said cut away. So you're cutting out these 2 sections, the 3/4 of an inch, down to the 6 1/4, and you're also cutting out the little tiny corners here and here. So there is not a bracket for the next couple things. So I'm cutting out this piece also. So 2 little sections and 2 big sections.
So anyway, so we still get to have hawks in our backyard, even though we lost one. And that was kind of reassuring to me that there's plenty more where they came from. I did read about them online, and they actually travel in flocks, in groups. And that's why there were 3 of them in the backyard.
Yeah, we thought at first I thought there was only 2, but there were actually 3. So I wondered how that worked.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they were siblings. So after you cut out those 4 sections, by the way, who is making this with me? Is anyone making a template or making the box?
So Christy Birkenbosch is worried about our puppies in the backyard with the hawks.
You know, Christy, I did tell Steve that when he was all upset about the hawk dying. I said, how do you know it wasn't going to attack? Our dogs are 12 or 13 pounds, so they're probably too big. But I have been concerned about that. And I said, maybe God was saving our puppies from that, because that would be devastating as well.
So having had to dispose of the hawk, I know now that it's only about 3 or 4 pounds, the hawk itself. So I highly doubt that it could try and take off with our puppies. And looking at what it had in its talon today, just a small mouse, I think that it's more of a small prey sort of thing, because it's not a big. Now, if it was an eagle, yeah, we'd have something to worry about. I grew up on the Mississippi, and we had lots of eagles that we got to go watch and got to see them up close.
Nobody had small dogs, right?
Well, you know,
or they had them temporarily.
Yeah, in my hometown, it was a small town where everybody, if you had a dog, it was a big dog.
Hold that thought, okay? So I have cut out the 4 sections, and I've scored on all the lines. Now this little 1/4 inch piece on the side, I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put tear and tape on the back. So you can see where that is by the red. So it's between the 3/4 inch at the top and the bottom. I'm going to put that whole strip down, and that is what's holding the box together. And when you do this, my tear and tape is exactly the same size. Don't go over the edge, because right here is the side of the box. So if you need to air, leave some tear and tape off here in Never Never Land. Don't go over the fold line. But you should tell them about your hometown, honey.
So I grew up in Buffalo, Iowa, which is on the river south of Mississippi. It's the one place in Iowa where the Mississippi River runs from east to west. So if you know what Iowa looks like, the eastern shore of Iowa, it goes down, and then there's a hump, and then it goes down south again, and that's the Mississippi River and how it bends. So I grew up believing the Mississippi River ran from east to west, and then if you kept going far enough, you would get to California on the Mississippi. That's what I thought
when I was little.
Well, I didn't know any better. I hadn't been taught geography yet.
Okay, so I grew up on the Mississippi River too, but about 4 miles north of it. Well, I was 10 when I moved there. Maybe that's why you thought this before you were 10.
Right.
Because when I moved there, I was pretty sure how to get to California, and it wasn't
on the Mississippi.
It wasn't on the Mississippi.
Well, her grandparents lived in Muscatine, and by the time you get 18 miles down the river, it's going north to south again. So she went to visit her grandparents. She knew that it ran north to south. But
can I interrupt you
sure.
again? Okay. So I have my tear and tape here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the box. So this line right here is 1, 2. So I'm going to fold it on 2. I'm going to take this tear and tape off. This is 3 and 4. And then I'm going to fold from 2 all the way over like this. And then it's going to stand up and become a box. Okay. So that is what I'm doing.
So a little bit more about my hometown was very blue collar because there were several factories, and actually it was a limestone quarry and a cement quarry, and big factories making lime and making cement, and barge companies that would load that up on barges. There's a huge barge terminal where all the grain would be stored and then loaded onto barges. And so it was, it was a hard-working group of people that lived there. And also the Mississippi was, recreation. There are islands in the middle of the river that people camped on all weekend. And so we had a few restaurants and 3 bars. And but it was a little town in Iowa, and it was a good place to grow up.
How many churches?
There were 4 churches, but none of them had more than, say, 30 people that would show up on any given Sunday.
There were more churches than bars.
Yes, just barely. And but there's still 2 very good cafes in town. And whenever we get a chance, we try and stop in there and eat. We know the people that own it. Everybody knows everybody in the little town. And so, yeah, Clark's Landing is the name of the cafe in Buffalo, Iowa.
So all these little tabs here with the solid lines, you cut up all of those. Normally I would do that before I fold it over into the box. Okay. What are we going to do next? We're going to put on card layers.
Hey,
so
I'm ready for that.
Do you have any questions? Courtney is back. Courtney, where have you been all summer? I bet you've been out having all kinds of fun.
So we're going to the first card layer, number 1.
Card layer number 1. Card layer number 1 is the red cardstock. Okay. And it is going to go right here. So when I first made this box, I folded it over at 3 1/4 and it was too far, so I had to trim it. So then the second time I made the box was when I did it sideways. So I scored it at 3 inches, and then there was too much of a layer. See, I do try really hard to get it just right for you guys. So at 3 1/8, it just seems very nice, so it can open. But I'm going to take this. And where it says card layer number 1, I should have put a space. This is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. And I'm just going to glue it on the front of the card. Christy, who was commenting earlier, is one of my Bible study friends in town. And she is going to the state fair and camping the entire 11 days at the state fair. And then she also volunteers and does some work at the state fair. But she camps. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
I used to when I was growing up, we went to the state fair and camped. Christy, I bet, was your family there then too? Or is this just something you've done? I bet my family was at the state fair because we went every year too and camped.
Hey, are we on card layer number 2 now?
We are on card layer number 2. And this is the Boughs of Holly DSP. I'm trying to decide which side is up, but it looks like it can be either way. I'm going to say this way is up, and I'm just going to put it on here. I like to use liquid glue.
So for those of you from other parts of the country, I hope at some point in your life you have a chance to go to the Iowa State Fair.
Isn't there a musical about the Iowa State Fair?
Yes, and it's just a very unique experience, cultural and also in terms of food, because they have lots of good things to eat. Many of them on a stick. That's the standing joke, is what else can you put on a stick to eat?
Smallest circle. I'm just going to mime the card. Steve is talkative. You know, they say a gal has 10,000 words to get out in a day. Steve Steve has some words for you tonight, so I'll just point to things. And,
Word. So are we
he's not
inside
going to stop. He's gonna
inside
keep
sentiment
going.
layer now?
No, not almost.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop up on dimensionals this little joy and put it down in the corner. And then, yes, Steve, let's go to the inside sentiment layer. By the way, this is heat embossed with white embossing powder. Now I'm going to go inside. And, you know, I was going to put a layer of DSP on here, but I don't see that. I have a real red ink pad, and I'm going to stamp Christmas wishes. Right
Mary
at the
says she
top.
loves my stories.
Do you love his
She's
stories?
giving me encouragement. So I can.
So you would like it, Mary, if I just mime the card and he tells you stories.
I have to tell you, you are in the presence of a fair queen.
Oh, stop it.
She was the Muscatine County Fair Queen, and she should have been the State Fair Queen. She was wrong.
It should have been. If Steve was the judge, I would have won.
I was ready to have words with the judges because I thought she definitely deserved to win. But yeah, it was a good experience for her, I think, wasn't it?
It was a very good experience. We had to do interviews, and it was the summer before I went to college. My sister actually did the county Fair Queen contest 2 years in a row, and she got first runner-up both times. And I didn't care as much about the Queen contest. We were longtime 4-H'ers, so it was kind of just expected. I was in 4-H all 9 years and loved it. And how big is my inside sentiment layers? 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut a 2 3/4 inch DSP strip to put on the bottom of this, because I think Molly's trying to get in on the act here. I think I forgot to do that. Either that or it slipped away. But anyway, my sister got first runner-up 2 years in a row. So then I did it the next year, and I just assumed that, you know, the Olsen girls get first runner-up. So that's what I was expecting, and I was shocked when I won. And it was fun. I think we've actually talked about that before, because you've talked about how Boxcar Willie was okay, but you don't like Eddie Rabbit. And didn't we have Loretta Lynn too?
Yeah, well,
so we got to meet the people that came and performed at the fair.
So I think we've already explained that Eddie Rabbit was a little bit too interested in the Fair Queen. And so it was a good thing that Fair Queen's bodyguard was with her at the time.
You're funny. Funny.
I had the whole thing going. I just needed an earpiece.
Holly is saying hi to Molly. Molly is a sweet puppy. She wants to be up here in the fray.
Yeah, she always wants to be involved in whatever we're doing.
Okay, so I'm just going to center that inside. So we have the outside card layers, the inside, room for a little note. Now for the box, I ran this through, and I do have a thing for this. This is the box layer. It's 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I use this wintry 3D embossing folder. It comes as a set of 2. There's another really pretty folder that comes with that. And I'm just going to center this on the top of the box layer. So this comes together really well. And like I said, I will save this template. In fact, I was going to show you. I made some similar ones. This was a box, and I put lint truffles in here that coordinated with this. There was a green one and an orange one and a gold one, I think. So I've made this type of card before, but I will definitely, I don't know, it's just a nice little Christmas. Wouldn't it be good for birthdays too? Like in the office.
Teacher presents. It would be great.
To surprise a teacher. Teachers have it rough these days. And if you sent your child or grandchild with a little thank you note with a little treat of candy in the box, how sweet would that be?
Yeah.
My knee just gave out. I'll try not to fall on the floor.
Here, I'll hold you up. I'm going to have to be over here now because I need to have an arm.
Oh, it's okay. So now to do the bottom of the box, I actually glued it shut. And I hadn't cut all the layers just right. Cut these before you do that tear and tape. Have any of you made this before? I'll be making this card for my grandson's birthday later this month. You know, Mary, I would love it if you would send me a picture. Put a picture on Stamping Mom so everybody can see what you make. Because, yeah, it's a super fun, easy thing, but I think anyone would like it. So I'm going to glue the bottom shut, and then we're going to use a ribbon to do the top. I'm just going to hold it on there for a minute.
So I have to tell you, I really like this card design. I like it that it is a combination card and box. So it's like a hybrid. And I think that's really cool.
You know what I called it? I called it a carton box because I didn't know what to call it. So I'm going to shut the top layers. Now here comes the part. I might have lost a little sleep over this. Actually, I slept all night, but I worried about it today. I don't like tying bows for people in person, but I used the sheer ribbon. I think this is in the annual catalog. And what I did is I wrapped it around. You might have to get a finger over here, honey.
Hey, I am the assistant stamping demonstrator. This is what I'm here for.
Okay, I have a good idea. I think the assistant stamping demonstrator should tie the bow and the ribbon around this.
I'm good at putting my pinky where it's supposed to go. You know, it's a valuable.
I was hoping what you would do is just tie the bow for me. One thing you could do is you could put a glue dot. So I'm going to center this. I have it wrapped nicely around the box. He's going to come over here on the other side. Beth's going to start saying you get paid the big bucks for this. And my bow is going to end up going the wrong way, though. I need it to go this way. So put your, yeah. Okay. It's a box card. It's a box car, Willie.
Box card, Willie. I love it.
You're clever, Courtney.
We were just talking about him. Wonderful gentleman. Look at that.
Woo. Come back. So what you're saying is I don't have to lose sleep over the bows. I just need you to help me. Well,
no, actually, I had complete faith it was going to work because we prayed about it before we started the video. And I think that's the Lord helping us tie a bow the first time.
I still would have had this piece underneath. You know, some of you recovering perfectionists know what it's like. Yes, Pam, put hashtag prize patrol. Now I'm going to cut the other side. Now the reason I didn't cut the ribbon earlier is because I'm cheap and I don't like to waste the ribbon. Okay, there you have it. Do you guys like this? Here is my, see the bow is better last time, but it is very good for on camera. Here's my template. Do you like how I put the layers on here? So truly, you know exactly where to put the tape. Oops. Where to put the layers. This is going to be on my blog tomorrow morning. I'm part of Mary Fish's Pals team, and we have a blog hop tomorrow. So there's about 20 of us, I think. And my card will be on there, and a picture of the template will be on there tomorrow morning too, starting at 4:30. So that is what we have. Has everyone put Prize Patrol in? Jean Hickson says she loves it. Well, thank you, my dear. I appreciate that. So pretty. Oh, you guys are sweet. Thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. How many people do we have playing tonight? We have 18. Does anyone else want to sign up? Just put I can't talk. Hashtag Prize Patrol. No spaces. It doesn't matter if it's capital letters or not. And what I'm giving away tonight is, you can tell me, do you want a template or do you want the box? I thought what I could do is I could send you the box and the ribbon too, but not like this flattens because of the way we put it together. I can flatten this one and Will that fit in an envelope?
I bet it will because you cut it down from 6.5.
Oh, it won't. Unless we go the other way. Nope. It does not fit in an envelope, but I'll put it in a bigger envelope.
Right.
Yes. So anyway, either the template or a box that you just have to glue the bottom and wrap the ribbon around it.
So Denise, please input hashtag Prize Patrol as one word with no spaces. So hashtag Prize Patrol.
Also Marilyn.
Marilyn has got
Hashtag
spaces. So Marilyn.
Prize Patrol. Yeah, it's hard to know the first time you do it. So we'll give you a chance to get it in. But Denise and Marilyn, I think you're both new. Please tell me where you're from, but I'm glad you're here tonight.
So here's what it looks like.
The number 10 envelope, you know, it might be too wide for that, but I will try that. I think you're talking about the business size envelope, but I have other bigger envelopes too. I can send it in. Vermont, you're from Vermont. Well, thank you for joining us. We do these videos every single Tuesday night, don't we, Steve?
Yep.
And we would love to have you come. There's very kind, sweet people that come back week after week. Okay.
So
Victoria has it. Becky has it. What about Denise?
Denise is right here. She got it too.
And Pam Simons had a birthday this week. Happy birthday, Pam.
And Victoria is from Michigan.
From Michigan, Schoolcraft, Michigan. That's awesome.
All right. So you ready to do Prize Patrol?
We are ready to do Prize Patrol.
Okay,
So
let
we're
me get
giving
my act
away
together.
either a tutorial or the card flattened. So you can tie the bow when you get it.
Does it just take a second?
And you can only win a prize once a month. And so far for August, we only have Chris. Chris won last week.
So we're ready to go.
We are ready to go.
All right. We're spinning the dial. It's like everybody's coming up. Stamping Mom is in there.
Why am I on there? Am I going to win my
Christy
Birkenbosch, you won. Christy has never won before. Yay. And she lives in town. Maybe you'll get a real live fresh Snickers in your box, Christy.
Wait, you have fresh Snickers?
No, I don't.
I'm looking.
No, I don't.
I'm going on the hunt.
I have no fresh Snickers. I thought I could buy one at the store, put it in the box, and give it to her before I ate it. Or I could maybe eat it, put the wrapper in there, and show her that she could put one in there. But anyway, congratulations, Christy. Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, I'll go back through the comments. I would love it if you would like and share our video or give us a thumbs up or a heart. And please come back next week. Bring your crafting friends with you. And also, if you go to stampingmom.com, you can vote for my card that was on the blog post on Monday. I'd really appreciate that. Have a blessed week. Thanks so much, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.